Hi, Noor members, welcome. This is Bianca here. So I'm gonna take you through a very soft Hatha class. I consider this class being a moon class, meaning we're gonna work with downward forces. We're gonna work with a lot of forward fold and a couple of twists to ground. So it's a very good class to do in the evening before going to sleep, or if you have digestive problems or also sleep problems. So these downward energies, which in yoga are called apana vayu, which is a type of prana of energy which resides in the lowest chakra of the body, are responsible for our grounding, for everything that is about elimination, letting go, both physically and emotionally. So if you suffer of anxiety, poor sleep, or digestion, this is a great class. So we're not going to do any sun salutation, really. You can always have them. So we're going to just work with keeping the poses mostly. So let's go ahead and start in child pose. So the knees out wide to the side of the mat, big toes touching. Extend the arms forward. Release your forearm onto the mat. Take a moment to ground here, to let the hips sink onto the heels, soften through the hips, soften through the shoulders. So next inhalation, lift the forehead off the mat, shift forward into a hold for a moment, and then exhaling, send the hips back towards child pose. Very simple soft movement. Inhaling again. Shift forward. Exhaling. See if you can lengthen the exhalation this time, making the movement slower. Inhaling. Shift forward. Lengthen the spine. And then exhaling slowly. Long exhalation. Couple more. See if you can take your exhalation to a 6-7 count. So inhale for 4 counts. Exhale for 6-7 if that's available for you. One more. Exhale. And then inhale, come forward. Exhale this time, close the knees, come into a proper all four. Take one inhale here, lengthen through the spine, chest goes in between the arms without lifting the neck too much, keeping a very long spine, navel in. And then exhale, tucking the toes, coming into a downward facing dog, taking a time to ground here. Bending the knees, step the feet forward in between your hands, coming onto a block, or maybe hands onto the shin. Bend the knees as much as you like. Inhale, lift the torso forward, long spine. Exhale, fold over. Go grab your big toes here. Bend the knees again as much as if needed. Inhale, lift the spine. And then exhale this time, open the elbows to the side, release the head down. So see if you can inhale for 4 count and exhale as long as you can. At the end of each exhalation, see if you can hold the breath for a couple of seconds. Just feeling the space that it is in that pose. The mind is calming. The chapter is quietening. So lifting the belly, the chest with the inhalation, and then exhaling, sending the navel to the spine at the bottom of the breath, holding the exhalation for a couple of seconds. Sometimes when we pause, mind stuff come up, fear, anxiety, just welcome whatever it is. Stay with it and we are gonna work to integrate that with the forward folds. One more, inhale, exhale, as long as you can. Hold the breath in at the bottom of the exhalation. And then inhaling, lift the torso halfway. Exhale, place the hands onto the hips. Inhale with a flat spine, come all the way up. Exhale, release the arms to the side. Pause here, feel this downward force movement moving onto the bottom part of the body. This feeling, this energy of grounding. Then go ahead and move the left foot back. Turn the back toes in quite generously. Right foot forward and set yourself up for pyramid pose. So square the hips off, help yourself with your hands to square the hips off. This time right hand goes onto the sacrum, left arm reaches all the way up next to the left here. Taking one inhalation here to lengthen through the spine. And then exhaling with a long back, keeping the left arm next to the left here, folding forward. Once we touch the floor with the left hand, inhaling, coming all the way up. Again, exhaling, see if you can lengthen the exhalation to 5 count this time. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling for 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 6 counts perhaps. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhaling 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last exhalation, maybe 7 count, maybe still 6. Count yourself. When you touch the ground, release both hands, framing the front foot. Maybe walk the left foot a little bit closer. Square the hips off again. Place the left hand next to the left foot. Again, find length into the spine. And then reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Again, inhaling, lengthening through the spine. Exhaling, twisting towards the right side. Breathing here. Sending the chest towards the right side. Hugging the right hip in and back. You can always use a block for the left hand if the floor feels too far away. Setting the mind calm, staying with the breath. Taking one more inhale here. And then exhale, release the right hand onto the mat. Both hands framing the front foot. Inhaling, lifting the torso halfway. Long neck, exhaling this time, fold over the front leg. If you need to bend the front knee, bend the front knee. Just set yourself up to be in a very relaxed, grounded position. And see if at the bottom of the exhalation you can hold the breath for a couple of seconds again. So deepening the exhalation, holding the breath, a couple of seconds at the bottom of the exhalation. Helping the mind to calm, to slow down. One more breath here. And then next inhalation, lift the torso, look halfway. Place the hands onto the hips. Ground through the feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, step forward forward into Tadasana. Release the arms to the side of the body. Just pause here, integrating the energy, integrating the pose. And then step the right foot back this time. Again, turning the toes in generously. Left foot forward, squaring the hips off. Left hand onto the sacrum, right arm next to the right here. Inhaling, finally lengthening the spine. Exhaling, keeping the length, folding over. See if you can keep the right bicep next to the right here. Fold over, reach to the floor, and then inhale slowly all the way up. This time, exhalation for 5 count. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling for 4, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling for 6 count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhaling for 4, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling for 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This time release the right hand next to the left foot, left foot framing the left foot. Inhaling, lift halfway. Exhaling, ground the right hand. Left arm reaches all the way up. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, square the hips. Exhale, twist towards the left side. Again, use the block if that helps. Just keeping the mind calm here in the twists. The twists is useful to assimilate the energy. And to create also some tapas, some purifying energy in the body, some challenge. See if you can lengthen the exhalation, keeping the mind calm, staying as stable as possible in the posture. Taking one more inhale here. And then exhale, release the left hand onto the mat, square the hips off towards the front of the mat, hands to frame the front foot. Inhale, lift halfway, exhale, fold. And again here, finding the forward fold, lengthening the exhalation, and at the bottom of the exhalation, see if you can hold the breath for a couple of seconds. Prioritizing the length of the spine, so always bending the front knee if needed. Staying with whatever arises. When we work with this lowest chakra, we kind of discover also some chattering, some anxiety, some fears are coming up, are bubbling up to the surface. So this is where yoga begins. This is where we choose if we want to react or just stay with it. Just look, observe. One more breath. Next inhalation, lift the torso halfway. Exhaling, hands onto the hips. Inhaling, come all the way up. Exhale, step to the front of the mat. Release the arms and outside the body. Pause here for a moment. And open your eyes. Inhaling, arms reach all the way up. Exhaling in a long spine, folding all the way over. Again, hands on shin or onto the mat. Inhale for a flat back. And then exhale, this time stepping back, downward facing dog. One breath here in downward facing dog. Feeling yourself grounded through the feet, through the hands. Then bending the knees, coming, laying down onto your belly. We're just gonna do one belly down back bend. cobra, just to rebalance the energy of the forward fold. So place both hands under the shoulders, hug the elbows in, place the forehead onto the mat, squeeze the legs together, press the top of the feet onto the mat. Next inhalation, lengthen through the neck, lift the chest up, look forward, roll the shoulders down the spine, hug the elbows in, keep pressing onto the feet. Keep the mind calm and stable, don't lose that stability, that calmness, and just lengthen the exhalation here. Taking a couple more breaths, lifting the chest higher. Inhale, and then exhale, fold all the way over. Release the forehead onto the mat. Pause here for a moment. And then tuck the toes under, press yourself up and back into a child pose. Grounding, re-extending the lower back, compensating the cobra. Then inhale, come up, all four. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, step the right foot forward. Move the right foot to the back of the left wrist, right knee to the back of the right wrist, coming into pigeon. So the right leg can be 90 degrees, 45. Move the right heel as close as you want to the pubic bone. Just make sure that hips are squared and that you feel quite stable into your lower back. Taking one inhalation here, and then with the exhalation, we walk the hands forward, maybe staying onto the elbows, maybe coming all the way down. So making sure the hips are grounded, especially the right hip. If that lifts up, just place either a block or a blanket under the right sitting bone. And just stay here again, noticing whatever arises. Just staying with it. Breathing into it. Placing yourself in the seat of the observer, of the witness. Letting these emotions coming up. And instead of reacting, just watching, observing, welcoming. This is the way we calm our minds and we become more complete, more whole, so that we can use our solar energy in the world in a more conscious way. Take one more breath here. And then place your hands to the side of the mat, pressing yourself up. Help yourself lift the right hip off the mat, sending it back, and come into a downward facing dog again. Just to compensate the pigeon and just find an extension of the spine of the legs. And then when you're ready, we go on to the other side. Again, make sure you ground yourself through the left hip, that the hips are as square as you can, and then come forward. Find an inhalation first, length through the spine, and then fold over. and set yourself in a calm, stable pose. See if you can really avoid moving. Be curious of the edge of your mind, what your mind finds challenging. And see if you can keep yourself from moving, from reacting. Instead, using the breath to stay in a moment, to become a little bit more conscious of these energies, to be the observer. Abdominal breathing here. One more breath. And then with the next inhalation, help yourself up with your hands. Tuck the back toes, lift the left knee off the mat, sending it back into a downward facing dog. Pause in downward facing dog for a moment. And then bend place the knees onto the mat and come into a seated position. So we're going to do Baddha Konasana, placing the sole of the feet to touch, moving the heels a bit far away from the pelvis. Go grab your feet with your hands. Inhale, lift the chest, find length in the spine. And then with the exhalation, keeping the length of the back, of the lower back, fold over. When you find your edge, inhale again, find extra length. And then exhale. So see if you can keep the length in the neck. And just let go of any resistance. So forward fold are the only poses where effort doesn't help. So as more effortless you are, the better it is. They just require this letting go energy, this effortless energy of just accepting and letting go, opening up to whatever it is in this very moment. Taking a couple more breaths here. Next inhalation, keeping the length of the spine, rise all the way up. Exhale, place the hands onto the knees. Gently, slowly pull the knees to touch and extend the legs forward. Come into Dandasana, place the hands to the side of the hips. Flex the feet, find length in the spine and just pause here. Feel like someone is pulling you from the top of the head. And notice also this downward energy moving through the lowest part of the body. This grounding energy. And come laying down onto your back. Extend the left leg, drag the right knee to the chest, extend the right arm to the side, and with the help of the left hand, move the right knee towards the left side. Keep the right shoulder as grounded as you can, and again you can look up or you can look towards the right side. Sealing the energy with a twist abdominal breathing. And then come all the way back to center. Release the right leg onto the mat, drag the left knee towards the chest, pull it gently. Grab it with the right hand, extend the left hand to the side, or maybe you need to bend the knees, the elbow if you don't have space. And drag the left knee towards the right side, grounding through both shoulders as much as you can. Feeling the energy of the twist again, this energy of integrating whatever emotion, whatever feeling we are to face in this practice, so integrating just this calmness and quietness of the mind into our body. And then slowly with the inhalation come back to center. Extend the left leg. Pause a moment, just feel the balancing of the energy onto both legs. And then drag both knees onto the chest just to close the energy down with a symmetrical fold. Take one inhale here. And then exhale, release the legs onto the mat. Setting up for Shavasana. Palms facing up, let the feet fall to the side. Close your eyes. Set yourself comfortable. Before you let go of the breath completely, just take a couple of conscious breaths. See if at the bottom of the exhalation again you can pause for a couple of seconds. Notice what is in that pause, in that moment when the mind quietens. And all that remains is just pure silence, pure awareness. And slowly let go of any technique, let go of the breath, and just let it be soft, experiencing yourself as vast and spacious here. You can stay in Shavasana as long as you like. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.